Hi, welcome to another edition of Eating Sharp with Lynn Sharp. But before we get to the meat of the video today, I want to show you a couple of Christmas gifts that my nephew sent me from Louisiana. He sent me some Slap Your Mama. It is a Cajun seasoning, and you can find this, it's got a kick, but you can find this in most of your World Market, Pier 1 type stores. You can probably also find it at stores like Trader Joe's and that sort of stuff. He also sent me some Creole seasoning. You can find these also in there. You might be able to find the Creole seasoning in your regular supermarket. I think he's given me the hint that he wants me to do a little more southern cooking in my videos. Before we get, another thing I want to get to before we get to our video today is off the website here, you can email me and ask me questions, and I'll answer them on my videos. And one of the latest questions comes from a viewer named Cheryl, and she is having ham and roast for Christmas, and she would like to know some different side dish ideas that are unique and different than most people do. Well, I already answered her through email back, but I wanted to bring it up to you guys as my viewers. And one thing you can do is a dish that is called keen bean. It is my own creation. And what you do is you take about a pound of fresh green beans and you snap them, and you don't want to cut them in half, but you just want to snap the ends off, pull that vein out. And what you do with those after you get them all cleaned and washed is you coat them in a little EVO, olive oil, a little kosher salt on top, and you mix in some fresh grated or crushed garlic. And you put them in your oven for about 20 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees covered, and those will bake up. They won't be totally cooked all the way through, but the flavor on them is just outstanding, and I think that would go really good for roast or ham, either one of those. And one other thing that I like to do that is different is, instead of buying the boxed scallop potatoes or au gratin potatoes, I like doing them from scratch. And hopefully in the next few days or so I'll have that video up on my website here as well. So let's get down to the video today. It is going to be all about persimmons, and I'm very lucky that I know a person that has a plot of land and they have a huge persimmon tree, and I was able to pick as many persimmons as I wanted. So it's going to be all about the persimmon. Now, if you looked on my website, you've seen the persimmon cookies, so we're not doing those today. We are going to do persimmon pudding, and it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours on the stove. So it's going to be, it won't be a long video, I'll cut a lot of that out, but it's an intense video, but the end product is just fabulous, and you really will wow your friends and your family making persimmon pudding right on the stove. The other thing I'm going to make is persimmon cheesecake. Now, this is a spring-form pan, and you can get this at most any of your novelty shops. In fact, I saw them in Walmart, as a matter of fact. Not that I want to plug Walmart, but it comes apart like this, and the one at Walmart is all covered with non-stick, and it's very inexpensive to purchase, and it's one of those good things you can have around the house, because you can do cakes in those things and take them out. It's just a really nice addition to your kitchen equipment. And the last thing we're going to make is persimmon pie. And so let me get all of my ingredients ready, and we'll start with the persimmon pie, and we'll show you how to pull this all together and make something unique and different for this holiday season. So take a break, and I'll get everything ready, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. And first thing you want to do before you make your persimmon pie is you want to get about 1 cup of the pulp. And what I did is I took the persimmon. This guy is really hard because I froze him overnight, and then I let him thaw, and the pulp comes out really nice out of the shell from that. Just like you do with your bananas when you're doing banana pie, banana breads. So you want to whip the 1 cup of the persimmon pulp. To that you want to add a ½ cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of butter, about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And what I did is I took the Myers lemons that I got from a friend of mine over the holiday season, and I fresh squoze that, so it's going to really taste nice, because the Meyer lemon is still got that tartness to it, but it has a sweetness to it as well. Also, you want to put 2 cups of cream, and I am using whipping cream, but you can use just half and half if you want. That'll work as well. You want to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, just about like that, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Get this in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. Before I go, though, you'll want to set your oven at 425. First, check to make sure there's no cakes in there. You don't want to bake your cakes again. 425, like that. And I'm going to get this mixed up, and I'll show you how to get it into the pie and into the oven. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. I've got it all mixed here, ready to go into the pie pan. But first we've got to get the crust into the pie pan. And of course, if you've learned from my other videos, I really like the Botten pie crust because it's always consistent and it's always the same. I do know how to make pie crust, and one of these videos I'll show you my recipe for pie crust. But right now, it's the holidays, you're rushed, you want to get things in and out, you got a lot of stuff to do. So buy the crust. It's all worth it, and it saves you some headaches sometimes, especially if you're a first-time baker. What I did is I squeezed this down a little bit at the end where it starts to roll, because it's a little thicker. Now, if you don't have a stoneware pie pan, this is a 1-inch pie pan from Pampered Chef. You'll want to spray that with a little cooking oil so that it doesn't stick. And what we're going to do is going to lay this down in here, and I'm going to make sure that it fits, it's even on here, and then I'm going to make sure that it's pressed down into the corners, where the pie comes up. And then I'll show you how to flute the edges and the way I like to do it. Okay, so what I like to do, as you've seen from my other videos, is I like to just roll this under just a little bit like this, because when it lays over here, it's just decoration. Or you can lay that out there flat like this, and you can flute it by going this way. Put your 2 fingers and 1 finger and just push them in like that. Okay? So let's do it on this pie this way today. Just push them in like that. And that'll give you a little extra height on your pie crust. Just push it down, make it all look right. Flatten it just a hair. Turn. Push them in like this. If you've got a little extra there, we'll cut that off. Because if you get a little bit too much there, it's just not going to flute right. So you can just cut that off, the edge off. Like that. And then you just want to flute them around as you go. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because you want to make sure that your friends and family know that you made this all yourself. So if it doesn't come out perfect, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Around like this. A little extra crust there. Just trim it down. Okay, there you have it. Okay, so now we can pour the pie filling in, the persimmon pudding, or excuse me, the persimmon pie filling. This might fill it a little too full, so you want to just keep a watch there. You want to go right up to the edge. You know, I'm going to go ahead and put it all in because I fluted it up a little bit. Just like that. Next, we're going to get the milk. Okay, here's the milk, the brush. We just want to go ahead and dab that on there. Brush it around. You don't want to mess up your fluting. but you want to get that milk on there. It will do the same as eggs do to your crust. It'll make sure that it's brown, golden brown. Okay, just like that all the way around. Remember, this goes into your 425-degree oven for 10 minutes. And then you'll want to turn it down to 350 for the rest of the baking. Okay, oven's ready. Let's put her in. Be real careful so that you don't spill it. You can go ahead and put a sheet pan underneath that just in case it boils over a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it. So we'll let that go for the 10 minutes at 425, and then we're going to turn it down to 350 for about 40 minutes until your pick comes out clean. So until that's ready to come out of the oven, you guys take another break. Enjoy your day, and I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. It's been a little bit longer than I anticipated for the pie. Probably about 15 to 20 minutes longer than the 30-40. So you just got to take your own cooking ability and skill involved in making sure that it comes out right. So let's take a look at it. It's ready to pull out. We'll pull this guy out of here. It is full brown. It almost looks like a dirty pie. You don't want to touch the top, because the top is a little moist. Whoops, persimmons are running away. Put this in. I'm going to leave the oven on because we have other persimmon things we're cooking today. But you can see it's just a little bouncy there. And it tastes great. So you'll want to let this cool for about an hour to room temperature, and then you can put it into the oven and chill it overnight, or excuse me, not into the oven. We just took it out of the oven. Yeah, I'm so excited about eating this, I want to just taste it. Let it cool for about an hour on the rack. Then you'll want to put it into the refrigerator a couple of hours or even overnight. Or you can just let it sit for the hour and then serve it warm. It'll taste really good. So until next time, this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp. Don't forget to check the website for the latest videos and recipes. If you didn't get all the recipe today, it will be on the website here in a couple of days. And this is Lynn Sharp with Eating Sharp and Eat Well. Bye-bye.